Hello and welcome to a parental support maths session brought to you by the Kemnall Academy Trust. My name is Catherine Lewis and I'm a lead practitioner. Today I'm going to lead you through some strategies and background information about addition in Year 5 and 6, so you have the confidence to support your child as they move through primary school. If you'd like to gain knowledge about the step before this, please do watch the addition in Year 4 session. By the time the children are in Years 5 and 6, they should have a good understanding of all the basics and have clear written methods for each calculation. This is a time where children will use all of this knowledge to further deepen their understanding and become masters. In the next slide, you'll be shown how we teach column addition for 2 5-digit numbers and 2 decimals. Children at this stage of primary school are expected to be able to use formal written methods to add whole numbers with more than 4 digits, as well as working with numbers up to 3 decimal places. Children at this stage should think about whether the written column method is the most efficient method or whether mental methods would be more effective. When working with numbers that look like they are going to need regrouping, it is a good idea to use the written method. Children are still able to use resources alongside the formal method to help them visualize. This slide shows how we use column method to add, as well as using counters or something similar from your home to support this formal method. You will see here an equation written in a formal way alongside a diagram which shows place value columns with counters that represent each digit. For example, the 4 yellow counters in the top right corner represent the 4 ones in 56,124. So we've got here 56,124 add 35,392. When we look at this equation, the children always start with the column on the right. 4 ones add 2 ones. We group them all together and count them all. So the total of this column is 6. This will be recorded in the equation. Moving on to the next column, which is the tens. After they have been grouped together and counted, we realise that it makes 11. We can only put 1 digit, however, into each column, so this is where we regroup again. From the 11 tens, we can use 10 tens to make 100. These 10 tens are grouped together, taken off the chart and changed into 100, which is placed with the other 300s. The 1 is also written here in the hundreds column of our written method. This a long time ago would have been known as carrying 1 over. We have placed this 1 underneath our equals line, but some schools may place it above. So for example here or up here, so it might be worth finding this out. Having carried out this regroup, we can see that there is only 1 10 left. The children would then write the digit 1 in the answer section of the tens column. Lucky for us, the hundreds column is simple. Group them together, count them, and record. We have 5 hundreds. The thousands column shows 6 thousands and 5 thousands, which total 11 thousands. So once again, these 10 thousands are removed and regrouped into 1 10,000 counter and placed in the 10,000 column. This 1 is represented again by writing it in the equation in the 10,000 column. Again, we've placed it under the answer or equals row. Having carried out this group, we can see there is now 1,000. So 1 is recorded in the answer box. And last of all, we group the 10,000s and count them all. And there are 9. We put a 9 in our 10,000 column here. So 56,124 add 35,392 equals 91,516. This is a perfect example of when a written method would benefit working out this calculation with the counters. Although some would see it as complicated, it really does show the value of each digit. Adding decimal numbers with a different number of decimal places. When looking at the equation 7.36 add 14.2, it is a good idea to estimate what the answer might be. The children will have learnt to round to the nearest whole number. In this case, 7.36 would be 7 and 14.2 would be 14. Seven add 14 equals 21. Estimating what the answer might be gives the children an idea of what their answer should be. In this case, it should be about 21. For this equation, column addition would work well, as we can see in the ones column, there will be some regrouping to do. The first thing to do is write the two numbers in the correct columns, making sure that the decimals line up. This is really important. So we've got here 7.36, there are 7 ones, a decimal point, 3 tenths and 6 hundredths. Then we put our next number in, 14.2, 110, 4 ones, decimal point, 2 tenths. When adding decimal numbers with a different number of decimal places, children will be taught to put a 0 into every column. These zeros do not change the value of the number. They will actually help children to be more accurate. The children will start by adding the column furthest right, which in this case is the hundredths column. 6 add 0 equals 6. The 6 is then written in the answer row. It's the 10th turn next. 3 add 2 equals 5 tenths. Now, don't forget the decimal point column. Now it's the ones. Children will quickly spot that 7 and 4 will cross the 10 boundary, and so regrouping will need to take place. 7 add 4 equals 11. The ones 1 is written in the ones column. And the 10 1 is regrouped underneath the tens column. And you'll remember how we did that in the previous slide. There it is. When looking at the final column to add, the tens column, we can see that there is a 0, add a 1, add a 1. We mustn't forget about this 1 at the bottom. 0, add 1 equals 2. So the answer to 7.36 add 14.2 equals 21.56. And if you remember our estimation, 7 plus 14 equals 21, we know that our answer is probably correct. Thank you so much for watching this session. We hope that you will find it helpful when you're supporting your child with mathematics at home.